Hello there! Thank you so much for hanging out in the Nerdery. This will be an episode long remembered because we are about to unbox not one, but two Darth Vader action figures. We are going to pit Carbonized Darth Vader versus the 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader to ask and answer the question, who is the learner and who is the master?
When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
In the box for the Carbonized Vader. If you look at an angle, it's got this really cool like ice blue sheen to it instead of the normal Black Series box. If you look at the top, it's got the 40th Empire Strikes Back logo, Star Wars Black Series. You can see the action figure and really cool carbonized lightsaber. And at the bottom of the package has a traditional Black Series art and then says Darth Vader. Side of the box is silver and says Darth Vader. Appreciate the sheen they have on the back of the box. Part of it is like almost a matte finish, and then they have a metallic finish that washes through there. So in certain lights, you can really illuminate the painting they have on there. I think that's awesome. It is one of the better Black Series boxes I've seen in a long time. Then you get his description. Once a heroic Jedi Knight, Darth Vader was seduced by the dark side of the Force, became a Sith Lord, and led the Empire's eradication of the Jedi Order. Wow, I really appreciate the side of the box. It has a dark midnight blue with that metallic ice blue on there, and these 40th anniversary retro cards. How about you guys? This one is extra cool. So this is the Darth Vader figure from Empire Strikes Back. However, this is the Darth Vader armor from A New Hope. And the reason why Hasbro did this is because on the original Kenner card, this is how they released it. So it is an error, but it's cool that Hasbro purposely redid the error to give you the nostalgia of the retro card. I love the look on these. I actually have this already hanging up on the Nerdery wall in my basement there, but I had to have a second one to unbox. I'm very grateful. Back of the box has the rest of the wave with Boba Fett and the Imperial Snowtrooper, Chewie, and Luke Skywalker from Dagobah. Oh, dude, this is amazing. I gotta admit, man, trying to compare these two might have been a little ambitious.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, Director.
Out of the box, it's just instant magic and joy. These figures come from the same new upgraded Darth Vader mold from Empire Strikes Back. You can feel the heft of Vader's suit in it compared to a normal Black Series figure. They absolutely nailed the Empire Strikes Back. As I saw the Vader figure, first thing I wanted to do was scale him with Bespin Luke.
Why is he as clumsy as he is stupid?
Vader is supposed to be 6'6", man. Look how he towers over Luke, who is definitely short for a stormtrooper. They look amazing together. I mean, seriously, as soon as you see them together, can you just not picture them on Bespin? Wow, dude. Love this scale.
Impressive. Most impressive.
I really appreciate the realism and the proportions they got with this mask. It's all black with the 3 silver dots around his mouth. There's a reflectiveness to his eyes. And they really nailed the shape of his helmet. And if you look, you can see there's a slight texturing to it. It has a glossy finish. It looks just like it would in the movie under bright lights in an Imperial ship. Carbonized Vader has the same helmet, except the 3 silver dots around his mouth are way more pronounced against like that dark midnight blue. I appreciate how this has a shiny speckle to it. It's definitely different than the black Vader helmet. Man, I really appreciate how that looks. It's such a neat contrast to his typical look. Really appreciate the helmets when you can look at them side by side. They're the exact same sculpt. They're just executed differently and brilliantly. I love the black, and it just is the typical gloss finish that you would see on Vader's helmet or Stormtrooper armor. But I am really impressed with that like silver metallic midnight blue, the speckles on it. It almost looks like he's under the moonlight or some type of iridescent lighting, and it's lighting up his armor. Man, they're gorgeous together. This is a movie accurate control box on his chest panel. I love what they did with it. You have the silver outline, you have the different color buttons on there. It's appropriate size. I think that looks awesome, man. They absolutely nailed the chest box. Carbonized Vader has the same chest box, just different colors on the buttons. So when you look at them together in contrast, you can see they are the same chest box, just with a different color scheme. I love the way the color schemes go with each figure. I think having the blue with lots of silver and then just that dash of red looks really, really cool with the Carbonized Vader, but they absolutely nailed the classic Vader. And you cannot beat that look with his robe. You have, this like almost leather armor in the background, and then his chest box. That is so cool. Vader has full shoulder rotation. Comes all the way out to here. This is the upgraded pinless elbow. It's pretty neat. You can't see the pin in it when you rotate it. Really appreciate the aesthetic on that. The other thing that the upgraded design does is it gives you greater than 90 degrees on the armband. It makes Vader very articulatable, which will help with the lightsaber, as well as if you have him using the lightsaber with his right hand and him wielding the Force with his left. So he's got his lightsaber out here and he's Force choking you this way. On Carbonized Vader, I really appreciate the silver with midnight blue alternating on his chest armor. I really do appreciate the cloth color and style they picked for the robe hanging off on both sides of him. It has a nice pattern detail to it, but it's a hefty cloth. It's not cheap at all, and it's just a dark midnight blue that contrasts well with that ice metallic blue. You have a swivel at the waist with a little bit of rotation in a 360-degree pattern. His belt looks just like the movie. I love the buttons and the detail with the green, the red, and the silver. Contrasting with the black, and I really appreciate how his robe just flows down through that. It's pretty cool when you lift up the cape and you just see Vader from behind, because you don't really think of him that way. All right, if we put it side by side with the Carbonized Vader, again, it's the exact same design and mold. Really the only difference here is the Carbonized Vader is that metallic blue, whereas the Empire Strikes Back Vader is black, and they both have the same button scheme and color. Very flexible, thigh cut. Love how his boots come all the way up to the knee. So on the back it looks like a leather boot, and on the front you could see his armor. That's really cool to see the contrast between the glossy armor and the leather boot on the back. He's got a double pin at the knee. I'm pretty impressed with how flexible Vader is. You can see the leather detail on the top of the shoe, and it changes to the sole. That's a real neat feature. Inflex back, forward, and then good rock side to side. So looking at these side by side, they're exactly the same, just a different color scheme. I really appreciate the upper part, which is kind of like the leather weave pattern. And then I love the gloss on the front of the boots where the armor is. I really think the Carbonized one shows off how neat that sculpt is, where you have the leather in the back and the Stormtrooper armor in front. It's just such a cool alternate version of Vader. I really am impressed with it. I didn't think I would like it as much as I do. What do you guys think so far?
Yes. Your thoughts betray you.
Your Schwartz is as big as mine. Here's Vader's upgraded lightsaber. First thing you notice at the bottom is the grip where you have black and silver. They thinned it out, and there looks like there's more space in between the black and silver, so you can see it pronounced better. You have your on toggle, which is silver, and more great detail up at the tip of the lightsaber. You see the clip and gold. So I gotta admit, man, the Carbonized version is just really cool. I just want to show you guys the lightsabers in contrast to each other. Same mold, just a different color scheme. I really, really do appreciate the Carbonized Vader one. The new upgraded Vader is awesome too, but that Carbonized Vader, there's just something about it, man. This deal keeps getting better all the time.
Good. It would be unfortunate if I had to leave the garrison here.
Check that out. They both look perfect with their lightsabers. My first impression about their hand grip was right. That is tight, man. That lightsaber is not going to move out of there for anything. I really appreciate how each one complements the figure. This looks so cool together. There's such a synergistic effect between the blue and silver combined with his armor. And this is just your awesome traditional Vader saber. I think they just have it more movie accurate, and it looks phenomenal with the figure. Who's the learner and the master? Dude, last time somebody didn't grant Anakin the rank of master, it didn't go well for them. Capes are sturdy and have weight to them. You know how sometimes soft goods is real flimsy and just flies around? I mean, there is a heft to these robes, which I really appreciate, and they also have a nice gradient on there. I love the sheen on the black Vader robe, but this dark midnight blue just looks phenomenal. I'm really, really impressed with the coloration on it. It just reminds me of Vader being maybe underneath a full moon and just lighting up his suit and that like pale blue, like silverish metallic glow to it. Let's scale some bounty hunters. First up is Boba Fett, and then Bosk. Dude, they look awesome together. Bosk is huge because Vader's supposed to be 6'6" in his armor, and Boba Fett scales really well with him too. Let's scale Vader with some Imperial officers. Director Krennic, Grand Moff Tarkin, and General Veers. Dude, they look awesome together, man. I love this Vader from Empire Strikes Back. This has to be the best Vader ever. They look perfect together, all of them. Let's check out the Carbonized Vader with the Carbonized Second Sister. And then we're going to throw in Kylo Ren just for poops and giggles. Actually, dude, I really appreciate how the Carbonized Second Sister and Vader look together. I love the sheen on both of them, man. I don't know, maybe I should get more into these carbonized figures. I really love both the ones I have. What do you guys think? Do you collect them or do you pass on? So which Vader is the learner and which Vader is the master? Oh man, they're both impressive. Most impressive. To me, this is the ultimate Darth Vader action figure on a 6-inch scale. This is the figure we always wanted or imagined we had as little kids growing up. My joy meter is full. I'm smiling. I have nostalgia flooding back through me. All I can hear is James Earl Jones' voice in my head as I'm posing and looking at this Vader. Since both figures are the upgraded sculpt and mold, there's really no differentiating them there. It just comes down to the color palette. And I have to admit, the Carbonized Vader is 100 times better than I thought it would be. Really, I almost passed on it when I first saw it. I just like, it's kind of gimmicky variant. And then the more I looked at it, I was intrigued by it. So I ultimately gave in and gave it a chance. And I am so glad I did. I've really been undervaluing the Carbonized series, I think. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the Vader is just that good where I feel that way. So if I'm deciding who the learner and who the master is, ultimately I have to go with Empire Strikes Back Vader because he is the GOAT. He is the original. That figure, as soon as I popped him out of the card, just flooded me with nostalgia, with such joy, with such great feeling and emotion. Whereas the Carbonized Vader was just flippin' cool, man. It just didn't have that same nostalgic touch that the classic Empire Strikes Back Vader did. And to me, that seals the deal right there. Let me know which one you guys think is the learner and the master in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy these Versus videos, please subscribe because I'll continue doing them. See you real soon.